Merry Christmas.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Wheel of Horror Christmas Edition, the podcast where two best friends spin a wheel leading up to Christmas. It chooses the movie, and they discuss it. Today, we are talking about the 1994 film, The Santa Claus, which was directed by John Pasquin. I'm your co-host, Alec.
I'm Eric.
And Merry Christmas, Eric!
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
It's Christmas. Yeah, man, this is a sad-ish Christmas because it's quarantine and it's scary. But hey,
Tim Allen's gonna deliver us presents tonight. It's gonna be phenomenal with that little kid.
Little Charlie. Yeah, man. Actually, I don't know why. My entire life, I thought this movie came out in '96. I was like, oh yeah, we were like in kindergarten or second grade or whatever when this came out. No, this came out in '94.
94, yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's almost 30 years old, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, this is a really good movie.
Yeah, this is up there, and when we rate it at the end, I'm gonna give it a pretty good rating. I'm gonna say that.
I didn't really remember it. I just remember like he becomes Santa Claus. I don't remember why. I didn't remember like kind of what happens in between, but like it's a cool movie. It really like it you can't compare this to anything.
Yeah, and I got a confession to make. You know how it's called the Santa Claus, like, because it's a clause to become Santa Claus.
Yeah.
It took me way too late in life to realize that. I had no idea.
Me too.
I'm gonna be full honest. Like, oh shit, I thought it was just called the Santa Claus. Like, that was how Santa Claus was spelled in a weird way. Like, I guess I never realized, like, oh, it's a clause.
Dude,
like,
I 100% with you. I had no idea.
Yeah. Well, also I was like 6, so.
Right. I don't think we knew much about legal clauses back then. But yeah, I never. I don't think that was the one thing I'd ask my mom. Like, hey, what's a clause?
Well, that Charlie kid knew what was going on, and that kid was how old? 8 in the movie?
Yeah,
9?
He's 8. Yeah.
That kid was extremely smart.
Because his parents are divorced and he's an only kid, so they treat him like an adult. Don't compliment him too much, Eric.
No, I mean, he seems like a really smart kid, and it's you don't really. I mean, you see that in some movies, but man, he's really he's he's gonna start his own business and stuff. Like, he's really like, Dad, I hooked up the sleigh with like a cookie dispensing machine. Obviously, I didn't do it. I came up with the idea, and the elves did it. But still, like, he seemed like he knew. Like, Dad, you need to do this. You need to. He seems like a good assistant to Santa Claus.
Yeah, no, I was kidding. No, he is. He really is. Like, yeah, because even Scott says to him, he's just like, "What would I do without you?" And he's like, "No, you wouldn't be able to do it.
You wouldn't be Santa Claus. You'd still be making Home Improvement episodes."
He was then.
Yeah,
was.
I know.
It was like season 3 then. Yeah, no, you're right though. The kid is good. I will say this though about the kid. The kid, if you watch the movie, Charlie in the beginning does not want to see his dad. Does not want to spend the night there. He's like, "Mom, you're gonna pick me up right in the morning." Then he finds out his dad's Santa Claus, and then he starts liking his dad.
Yeah, it's like me. I'm a deadbeat dad, like, pretend, and my kid hates me, and I hit the lottery, and it's like, now I like you, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it kind of is like, right?
Right? It's not like Tim Allen did anything different. Like he accidentally killed Santa Claus and then became him, and the son's like, "My dad's Santa. I like my dad now."
Yeah. Well, Tim Allen, like Jingle All the Way, he's on a losing streak. He just burnt dinner. He's fighting in front of the kid. Neil, obviously, always yelling Neil and the mom, and in front of Charlie. And he kind of sucks, but then they kind of have a good night before the Santa Claus moment. He reads him the story, and Charlie asks him, like, what's a clatter? And it seemed like they were getting along. It just seemed like another night, though. It didn't seem anything special. The time when Charlie felt it was special is when he was riding the sleigh with his dad and having a moment with his dad.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's like, I guess it doesn't really matter what the situation is, but as long as it was something they were doing together and it was different, I guess.
Yeah.
It is a pretty interesting idea, though. Like, the mom and her new husband, Judge Reinhold or whatever, he's a psychologist. I think that adds a lot to it, knowing that, like, okay, this is crazy behavior. And he's like, what he's doing to his son actually is justifiably a reason for us to ask for sole custody because of the way he's behaving and, like, trying to placate to his son's imagination to an unhealthy degree.
Yeah, he's going at it like a psych angle.
Right. So, like, I kind of understood why, like, imagine, like, Tim Allen wasn't Tim Allen and was just, like, this dude who's just putting on all this weight, and you're just like, what are you doing? Are you really trying to prove that Santa Claus is real that hard? Like, this is crazy. Like, what are you doing? And he's like, I really am Santa. It's like, okay, we got to get our kid away from this guy.
Dude, totally.
Yeah. The other thing is, like, Neil, the Judge Reinhold character, he's not a bad guy. Like, really, he's not doing anything, really.
I don't think he's a bad guy. No, he's a little too, like, bland, I guess, and I guess he's not fun. There's no imagination with Neil. I like Tim Allen because he's like, let the kid have fun and imaginate, and stuff, and Judge Reinhold's like, no, he needs to study and realize the world isn't all sunshine and rainbows. It's like, all right, dude, like chill.
Yeah, well, then you also see, I guess like Tim Allen, even though he's like a hardworking guy, like he is still like he makes toys. Like he
I
works at
know
like
people with kids that told them like at the age of like 4 Santa Claus isn't real, stuff like that. Like I know
Zach
people.
Zach Simpson was one of those guys.
He's one of those kids. Okay, I didn't know
His
that.
mom, yeah, his mom was so religious that she told him that she's like Santa's not real from like the minute he was born. He's like, this is
Yeah,
about Jesus. This is not about Santa. How old were you when you found Santa wasn't real?
I was probably like 5 or 6. Like that's when I knew. I think.
That young?
Yeah,
6?
young. Yeah, I was young. I was young, but I played into it still. Like I was like, oh, I know my mom has the toys in the closet because I've snooped
Mm.
and found them all, and I get that that's why it's there. My mom would be like, "Oh, Santa Claus just drops them off early." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Okay, that doesn't make sense." And why is there a receipt from CVS? Like, that doesn't make and Caldors. Remember Caldors?
Yeah,
So why is there a
Calvin.
receipt from Caldors? It's like, well, Santa has to shop locally. It's like, okay. So it was like a that doesn't add up kind of thing, and I kind of figured it out myself. But I still played into it. I was like, I love the fun of it. You know,
Yeah, of course. It is really
I
fun
think
as a kid.
six is a fair real age, Alec. Like 6.
I feel like that's a little young. I
You
don't know.
really? I think I was
I would
about 6.
I'd say like 7 or 8. Yeah, like a
Yeah. Okay.
little bit older.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that was around the time I started like
Well, the other thing is you were a younger brother, and like I know when I found out, like, I
Bailey
didn't tell
found
his
out immediately
no,
because you ruined
no,
it to
no,
Bailey then.
nope, no. Guess who did? Zach. Zach
Who?
told Bailey Santa wasn't real.
Oh, and you were the older brother, like, no, Zach, you're wrong.
Yeah, no, I knew too, but I was like, Zach, shut the fuck up. And then Bailey started crying and stuff, and
Oh,
like, yeah, it was a big
that's a
deal.
sad day, I think. Like when your kid, you have to have the talk about like real things. Santa Claus is real because it's the idea and it brings us together as a family and like stuff
No, it
like that.
is.
I mean,
It's
personally, me, dude, I'm still like Santa Claus could be real. I think it's 2020. Also, like, could you
I
imagine? Could you
well, yeah,
imagine like you waking up and like, wait, and my mom's like, I thought I bought these presents. I guess I didn't. I thought your dad did. It's like, who got me this gift? It's like, well, I don't know. And then really, imagine there's a real Santa Claus, and we're all like, the world is just shook.
if it was 2020, I'd just be like, okay,
Put
that
it on
makes
the tab. Put
that
it on
makes
the
sense.
tab.
Well, there's like aliens
And
now,
he's
and
he's
everyone.
he's a super spreader of COVID. He's like, he went to every house in the world.
Oh my god. That's probably what it would turn into, though. It wouldn't be
Oh,
that people are excited. It'd be like, I bet he's not wearing a mask.
shoot him out of the sky like Jack Skellington. Like
Well, yeah. Well, dude, you look at this year and it's like we had the election, we had the pandemic, we had the horrible police
Kobe
brutality, and then
Bryant dying was tip of the iceberg.
that
Like
was the beginning of it. And then, but now, now there's fucking videos of aliens coming out, and everyone's just like, I don't care. Like,
yeah, social
so
injustice, like just
yeah.
an insane amount of politics and
So,
crisis in one year.
so if all of a sudden they're like, guys, like Santa's real, I'd be like, okay. I'd be like, that's great, and then just move on. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I probably
No,
would. I'd probably move on. But like, would you be nice? Would you start being more nice or stay naughty like we are? We're naughty boys. Let's be real.
I don't know. I don't think I'm
I'm
really
pretty
nice.
nice. I'm okay. I'm moderately on Santa's list.
I have my moments, but yeah. But I don't know. I do really I love the cleverness and the funness of this movie
It's
of like
good.
seeing somebody discovering having to be Santa and the inconveniences of being Santa.
Yeah,
Like just coming 45 pounds in a week.
yeah. The
Like,
beard doesn't go away. Your clothes don't fit really. You have to constantly eat sugar. It looked like, right?
yeah,
I wouldn't
why?
hate that. That I could. I pretty much do that already, dude.
Well, I love
I know
how
you do,
they
dude. I know you eat those peanut butter M&Ms
I do.
like
Yeah.
there's no one's job.
It's almost like if you knew smoking cigarettes wouldn't kill you, like would you? If you knew they wouldn't ever do anything
Would
to
they
you.
still make you smell like shit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Never mind that. Okay, because I'm trying to think, like, because they do his health screening or whatever, and they're just like, hey, you're as healthy as a horse or whatever, but you're fat as fuck. It doesn't make
I
sense.
still look fat, so it's like it still has that effect.
Right. So I'm trying to think, like, if, because people are like, I would never do heroin, I would never do cocaine because you get addicted and you die. But it's like, if you couldn't die, like, Santa
It was
can't die.
non-addictive and non-habit forming, and you could
I
do
don't know.
heroin. Jeez,
I don't
dude.
know. I don't know, because that's kind of what Santa can do. Like, he can eat as much sugar and as much crap as he wants, and he's still as healthy as a person that's not eating those things, because that's just like his body makeup as a fat guy for no reason.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. Can we
Yeah.
talk? You mentioned Judge Reinhold in this movie, and I know I
Yeah.
mentioned this I think last podcast about the Christmas cinematic universe that intertwines within all Christmas movies. Let's start with Judge Reinhold. He was in Gremlins, which is technically a Christmas movie. I know we didn't have it in the Christmas wheel, but we just talked about it, and that's a Christmas movie. So Judge
Yeah.
Reinhold tied there. Doris Roberts is in Christmas Vacation. Was in Everybody Loves Raymond. So was Peter Boyle, and Peter Boyle is in the Santa Claus, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what is it's like all this gigantic, expanded Marvel Cinematic Christmas universe of actors, and like the old lady in Ernest Saves Christmas was in Home Alone, and there's so many other ones I can't think of off the top of my
Yeah.
head. But I like
Yeah.
watching just these 12 movies, Alec. I'm like, this actor is also in this Christmas movie, and
Mhm.
this, it was like, wow, they're all kind of involved
Think
in Christmas movies.
So that's a really good point, because if you think about it too, like imagine you're a director and you're casting for a Christmas movie. What are you gonna watch to find actors that you like? You're gonna watch other Christmas movies, right? And
Yeah,
then same thing with the horror movies. There's so much like incest, like nah, that's so horrible. There's so much intertwined in the horror industry. Like there's people that like the Stan Winston dude. His name popped up in every horror movie.
yeah,
We're watching so many, and you're seeing actors popping up in different ones and directors popping up in different ones, and like Heather Langenkamp, the woman from Nightmare on Elm Street, she's married to a huge horror special effects guy now. So it's a very like, yeah, incestuous
Christmas movies.
industry.
Christmas movies stay with Christmas movie people. Like,
I don't think it's that, but I do think that it's a very specific genre that like if you are already in one, I feel like a director or casting director would be like, wow, I really like them in the Santa Claus. Maybe we could put him in like, Jingle All the Way or whatever.
yeah, I know like Hallmark's big on that. Like Hallmark and Lifetime, they have like the same. Like, oh, Chad Michael Murray's in another Lifetime movie. Like DJ Tanner from Full House is in like every Hallmark movie, and the
Or it's just easy because if they can already play the character, it's so much easier. Even if they have a bad audition, they're like, I know they can do this. I've seen them do this. Like, it's just easier to
yeah,
just go with somebody that's tried and true, I guess.
yeah.
It's not like these characters are really stretches or anything like that for these people.
No, no, for sure. Do you have any favorite parts of this movie?
I'm kind of confused a little bit. That's the one thing I want to say.
Oh,
Like,
please.
so he doesn't really kill Santa. He just casually is like, "What are you doing up there?" sort of thing. And then
Santa
Santa just,
slips on his roof, and Tim Allen just so happens to see the suit and
yeah, I
gets the card magically. Like, it'd be hard for me to find someone's wallet, let alone a business card right away.
well, yeah, of course. But
So
I
it's the
guess the thing
magic.
is,
It's the magic part of it.
I want to know though was he selected to be Santa?
No,
Because
no.
his name is Scott Calvin, SC,
Uh-huh.
Santa Claus. They say that or whatever. The fact that Santa has gone to millions of houses for hundreds of years or however long this Santa's been around for, then he gets this one house and just makes the most basic screw up, and then that's it. And then this guy becomes the new Santa Claus. I feel like there had to be some sort of like, you're the next in line sort of thing,
That's why it's so funny.
because it's just so random.
Because yeah, he's at some random guy's house. It could have been anyone, and it just so happened to be Tim Allen, who's a divorcee parent with his kid for the one night, and he's not really totally into Christmas, but he isn't. He likes it, and yeah,
What about this? What if Santa fell on the White House and he died on the White House? So
well,
then,
right
then
now it'd
Trump
be Trump or
Trump would
Barron.
have to go.
Barron, I don't know.
No, it'd be Trump. It'd be Trump. So Trump would have to go become Santa Claus. He
I
couldn't be the
mean, to be the
president anymore.
biggest, best Santa Claus in the world. Everyone is getting presents.
Tim Allen's character, he just happens to be whatever, some toy making company guy, and then he's like, all right, well, I guess I'm Santa Claus now. What if it was somebody that had like a really important job? They became Santa Claus, and they're like, you're Santa Claus now. We'll send you your stuff, but you're Santa.
I mean, that's what's cool too, is that Tim Allen is a toy maker. So maybe you're right. Maybe
That's
he's
what
like,
I'm
I'm
saying.
gonna kill myself off this guy's roof, and I'm
Mhm.
gonna And you know what? Yeah, sure. Why not?
His name is SC, Santa Claus. He's a guy that can do this job,
Yep. That's the
He
name
doesn't.
of my elf on the shelf too. Is Calvin? You call him Calvin.
Okay, all right, there you go. But the other thing is, like, think about it. Like, what if Tim Allen and his wife were still married and they had like 5 kids or whatever, and like he was the breadwinner of the house and the wife didn't have a job or whatever? Like, so this guy just has to leave his family and go be Santa Claus? No, it's perfect that he's a divorced dad with one kid who loves this shit, and he's also a toy maker. So it like perfectly works out, and he's got the same initials.
It could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, they could have got any other person. But here's the other thing: when he gets to the North Pole, no one cares. That like, hey, remember like that Santa who we don't know how long he was even that
He's
Santa
probably
for?
that's could be his first year as Santa. And
So
it's like,
what? They're
great,
still gonna be
okay,
like,
you're
oh,
here. That means the big guy's gone. Just happened 4 years ago. It's like 0 years without the incident. There's like a big
I
thing.
want to see that. I want to
Yeah.
see that sign. I want to
I
see
mean,
that to know
yeah,
how
totally. I
long.
mean, and all these other elves are hundreds of years old. Like that.
Thousands.
Yeah, Judy was like like thousands of years old.
It took her 1,200 years just to perfect a cocoa recipe.
Yeah, yeah.
So she's older than that.
So she's probably seen tons of Santas and doesn't give a shit who's the next Santa. Yeah.
They
Well,
should care.
they should. I mean, all right. Next question. Your favorite part though?
All right, all right. Honestly, I just like seeing him having to like interact with his life. I like that board meeting scene. I thought it was kind of funny having him be at being in the park or whatever, and then having the kids just like
Yeah.
gravitate towards him. Like I liked seeing a real man then having to become Santa and like how it actually intertwined with his actual life. I just thought it was interesting. I like
Yeah.
that. Why? What about you?
Oh, thank you for asking. I was hoping you'd ask. Sorry. I was gonna say something along the lines of there's so many good parts, and that's what makes this movie great. The elves with attitude, the breaking Santa out of prison with the tinsel. I love that shit. I love, like you said, him at the park and the little girl coming up and sitting on his lap is great. I like the music. Dun, 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 dun. I think the music's fantastic. I like the waking up the next day. Like, was it all a dream? And then
Yeah.
he's wearing the pajamas. And then Charlie's like, Dad, we were at the North Pole. And he's like, no, we were dreaming, Charlie. The same dream. I love that. I love that. I think that's
Yeah.
the coolest part of this movie.
I mean, it's really clever. Like, it's really smart.
Yeah.
And they found the perfect actor for this. I mean, he's right on Home Improvement. Everybody knows who he is. Then the next year, he's Buzz Lightyear. Like, this dude was destined to be a household name. Like, he kind of says, he says ho, 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 kind of like Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Yeah, he does. No, he's
"Oh."
he's Tim Allen in this as well. Yeah, feels like.
Yes. So he really takes that whole, like, I'm really popular right now. Like, sort of
He's
thing.
perfect. I mean, I don't want to say this because it's gonna happen, but let's say there's a remake in 2021 or 2022. I mean, they're remaking everything. Is this Disney now?
Oh, it's always been Disney.
It's always been Disney. Yeah, I know he mentioned the Disney Channel in the movie. So
Yeah.
it's Disney. This will be remade. Let's be real.
Well,
5-10 years, like with a completely new cast, maybe a cameo from Tim Allen. Maybe he
mean-
falls off the roof.
Oh, jeez. I'll put it this way. I think I saw the second one. I definitely did not see the third one.
I saw the third one, The Escape Clause, with Martin Short as Jack Frost. That one's not
Yeah.
bad, dude. And actually, that was Peter Boyle's last movie.
Oh, really?
Peter Boyle plays. He doesn't play the boss or whatever. He plays Father Time, and like in the older Father Time, and you could tell he wasn't doing too well. But I think when did that come out? 2007, 2006.
2006. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that in theaters actually at Hoyt's, Alec.
I
So I
believe it.
think maybe I was working there still, but
I remember the Santa Claus 2 because I remember he gets a wife. It's about Mrs. Claus.
and she has like a baby and
Yeah.
Neil's there. Neil's like at the North Pole, and like it brings in like a whole nother level with the divorce. Like the in-laws are coming in, divorced in-laws are coming in, and they're like the whole family is getting along and coming to the North Pole. It's like, okay, divorced parents, 1 in 1,000 get along with their in-laws, let alone their like ex's in-laws. You know what I mean?
I know.
There was like a lot of that, and I'm like, okay, this is too much. And it was a kids movie too, but it was good. I think the Santa Claus 3 was better than the Santa Claus 2.
Really?
I remember more parts from the Santa Claus 3 than I do the second one. Bernard the elf was not in the third one though. Or I don't know if I don't think he was in the second one either.
I just want to kind of talk about the budget and the box office return on these because it's kind of confusing. So this budget was $22 million in 1994, and it made $190.
A ton.
That's a big deal.
It's a hell of a profit.
So then, for some reason, and I don't know why, 8 years goes by before we get a sequel. And the sequel, the budget is kicked up to 65 million, and then it makes it made 172 million, so it's like $100 million profit. Then they immediately make the Santa Claus 3 in 2006. So we go from 94 all the way up to 2002, 8 years.
I would imagine they had the Santa Claus.
There's more.
Before, keep going. No, keep going then.
Yeah. Then 4 years later, they make the Santa Claus 3 or whatever, and the budget drops to 12 million, dude. That's 8 million less than the original.
That's the one with Martin Short?
Yeah, so the budget for a third one is substantially the lowest amount, and it still made a $98 million profit.
Why
was
that?
I don't know.
Was that because of the recession?
It doesn't matter because the money was still there. So it's like if you're looking at it, like you'd think the second one's budget completely makes sense. They tripled it basically, and then it made $100 million profit. Second one, they cut the budget from 65 million to
You
12
think they go from
million.
100 mil to a little bit more, even, right?
The budget almost never goes down if a movie is doing well. Like, I mean, they're not gonna. They might try to like use the same budget or maybe a
But to
little bit
cut it
less
that much, dude, yeah.
to cut it from 65 million to 12 million
And the
for a
other
movie.
movie made a lot still.
They all made over 100 million
Then that
dollars.
was that was that was a classic cash grab. The third one, they were straight up like, "Hey, we're gonna
How
we're gonna
little?
barely make this movie. We're gonna put Santa Claus 3 on it, and we're gonna try to milk as much money out of this third sequel as we can."
That's probably it. Because they're probably like, how little can we put into this and still see how
Well, they're
big?
probably like projecting like it's not gonna kill it in the box office like the first Santa Claus. It's not gonna kill it with the second one, but the risk is there to make it, and let's do it for as cheap as possible.
Yeah, I mean that probably is it. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much they spent on marketing and stuff, but you'd think $100 million profit, they'd be like, let's make a fourth one instead of rebooting it.
Yeah.
But
I wonder why the in between 8 years you said from one and
yeah,
one and two. I bet Tim Allen was tied up and they kind of banked it. It's like we can make a Santa Claus 2 any day now. Like we can hold it and like we have the script and this and that. And Tim Allen's probably tied up in Home Improvement
Home
and all these other
Improvement,
movies.
Toy Story.
Sure, I'm
Yeah.
sure he was all within thing, and they were pumping out movies with him. I know they did the Shaggy Dog with him, and that didn't do good.
Oh, Wild Hogs.
Wow, yeah, he made a bunch of movies, but yeah, that's probably he's probably tied up if I had to guess. And you can't recast Tim Allen
Nah,
in the second one. But
that
like I
wouldn't
was
be.
saying, reboot 2021, 2022, 20, it's going to happen in a few years. And they're going to have to find a new Santa Claus. And let's say Tim Allen's not related, they just make a new the Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
Who would be the Santa Claus now? Like
The
have to be
first
about
person.
40 years old, I'd
I know.
imagine still, have a 7-year-old kid. Who
I
would
know
be
the
the
first.
actor?
The first person that pops in my head is Tom Hanks, but he's too old.
He's too old. He'd be more like Tim Allen's age, yeah.
Damn, dude, I don't even like know who's 40 anymore. Like, who's 10 years old? And it's like Macaulay Culkin was born in 1980. Like Ryan Gosling is born in 1980. Like, who's someone of their age?
I was thinking 2 in my head, and
Oh,
not that I want to see this, but I'm just
all right.
saying here's
I
my.
have one now, but I want to hear yours first. I have
All
some
right,
now.
so I have Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh my
I think
god.
he'd be funny just because of the Home Improvement tie-in, and also no one's seen him, and I'll watch it, and also the Christmas universe. He's also in I'll Be Home for Christmas, so it's like Christmas movies, stays with
Yeah,
Christmas movies.
I know.
That one, and my other one was like I could see Robert Downey Jr. up in the assholeness of Tim Allen and his sarcasticness into like an
Mm,
Iron Man Santa Claus version. And like they kind of tie in like you want me to put on the suit and it's like a Iron Man super a Santa Claus suit kind of joke, shit like that. Like I don't know. Not that Robert Downey Jr. would ever do a reboot of the Santa Claus, but
well, here's the only thing. Robert Downey Jr. is 55,
a
so
little
he's
old too. Yeah, you're right.
old. But the other thing is, he would cost so much money that it wouldn't even be worth it.
Yeah, no,
Unless
I'm just saying like I can picture him. But the kicker is Alec. The kicker, David Krumholtz has to come back as Bernard at this age. Like he's always going to be the head elf.
Oh, you know what? Here's the other thing. You can't really cast a elf that doesn't age, and then have him be like an older
I want
figure.
him back,
Okay.
and I
Okay.
want Judge Reinhold back as a divorced dad too.
I want Judge Reinhold back too.
Yes,
I want
in
him
some
back.
way. In some way.
Uh, he's I love him. So the two guys that I actually think would be pretty funny, and I want to look up how old they are. I think Jason Sudeikis would be.
Oh, that's a great pick. That's a great pick. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's 45. I think he'd be pretty funny to have here. Or and the other person who might be a little too young, but I was thinking Beck Bennett.
Beck Bennett.
He's
Beck
30.
fucking Bennett would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
I think Beck Bennett would be funny because he's got like a very like likable like dad kind of vibe to him, and he's 36. He's not too. I guess he's a little young to play this character, but
He's
I
like
could see him.
he's like 35, right?
He's 36,
36. Okay.
so I could see him or Jason Sudeikis.
I love Beck Bennett.
Yeah.
I love Beck Bennett, and I think he would be a new way to show the Santa Claus. And maybe it'd be funnier, like Tim Allen denies being the Santa Claus. Imagine like Beck Bennett like loving it and like I'm the Santa Claus, like and like it's also where do you want me to sign? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah. Yeah, he's like the guy that like really embraces it and he tries to like make it better and he's just like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, why don't we have candy cane like flavored cocoa?" And
But
they're
he's
like, "All right,
also
fine."
like drunk on Christmas Eve, and so when he like puts on the suit, he's like, "Ew," and then he gets like takes the reindeer drunk home to the North Pole, and like the Bernard's like showing him up, and he wakes up the next day, and he's like, "That was a hell of a hangover dream." Like,
Yeah, so all right, I
that'd
wouldn't
be like the
totally.
adult version, though. That'd be like David Krumholtz like walking a drunk Beck Bennett through the North Pole at like 3 a.m.
I think they'd be decent cast for this. I do like both of
Danny
them.
McBride.
No,
No, no, that'd
he's
be horrible. That'd be horrible.
yeah. I love him, but I don't think he'd be right for
Like all the
this.
kids, like, "Are you Santa? Get off my lap!" It'd be more like Bad Santa than anything.
Yeah, there you go. I could remake that with him. The other thing that is kind of strange, yeah. So that nobody cares that Santa Claus is dead. I thought that was a little strange. I think it's pretty odd. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Okay,
What is up with Bernard being able to teleport in and out of the house?
he's an elf, dude.
So, using that logic, why don't the elves just deliver all the presents, and why does Santa have to fly everywhere if elves can just teleport?
Because Santa Claus does it. That's just how it's written. That's how like Bernard would say it too. He's like, "You listen. Look, I don't make." He's like, "I don't make the rules. This is how it goes. You deliver the presents. We just make them." That's his science. That's his attitude.
That's just science.
Yeah. No, that's what he says in the Santa Claus, and then like when he takes
Oh,
him to the North Pole too. He's like, "Dude, I don't know, dude. Like, I couldn't do this. I can't do this job. I'm an elf. You're Santa Claus. You have the role."
okay. No, I know. I'm just thinking like they can teleport and they're the ones making the toys, and Santa kind of just fucks off for 11 months, and then he has to get in a sleigh and then physically deliver to every house. Like it just seems like if the elves can teleport using magic, why wouldn't they teleport?
It's
And
it's
also,
science, dude.
yeah,
That's what he's trying to
well,
tell you.
well,
It's science, dude. It's like
okay,
I
okay, okay.
can't do it. He can't do it. He's not the
Right,
guy.
right.
You put on the
Well,
suit, you're the guy.
why why also do the elves have jetpacks if they can already teleport? Why don't they just teleport where they need to go?
Maybe not all the elves have the powers. Maybe Bernard, since he's the head elf, has the powers. The other elves, some do. I mean,
Okay.
obviously, we've seen like at the beginning of the movie, the elves are like getting ready for Christmas and like watching the kids and like
Hmm.
seeing what they like. You remember you see like the little girl like looking at the glass windows and you see her ears. And like
Yep,
the
at the end.
elves, when
Yeah.
like Santa Claus gets saved, you see like the little kids there. Elves are
Yeah.
all around us. It feels like in this movie, right?
Okay. No, I mean seriously, that actually kind of makes sense. Or it's
I
like
feel like
maybe
I'm
because we
explaining to like a 5-year-old right now. It's like why do the Rudolph has a red nose? Like because he has a nose that was like genetically mutated.
yeah, no, no, but I think you're right though, because it's like we don't see any of the other elves teleport, and Bernard's clearly seems to be like the
He's the head
yeah.
elf for a reason, Alec.
All right, okay, so he can teleport. All right, I'm in. I'm on. I'm fine. That's fine. My favorite line in the whole movie is at the learn what your parents do at work day or whatever, where they bring all their parents to school. And when he's just like, "Can I have my dad go first?" And he walks over and he's just like, "Yeah, he did speak. Nice sweater, buddy." And he like gets up.
He wants
I
me to go first, Neil. Nice sweater.
yeah,
Like
it's like nice sweater. Just like takes that dig. I thought that nice sweater line
he
was
says it like 5 times in the movie. He's like, "Oh, nice." Like, doesn't he say that again at the end?
he does he says it a few times, but the first time he said it, I was like, dude, even the way he says it too, it's so like nonchalant as he's like turning. He's just like, a nice sweater, bud, and just like turns away.
I like
I don't
that. I like that one cringe line when he's like with Judy, the other elf with the cocoa, and he's like, "How old
yeah
are you?" And she's like, "I'm with someone in rapping." Like it's like,
yeah
okay.
I know. Pump the
1994.
no, we didn't need to be thinking that.
Yeah,
Like
like don't even.
no one was thinking that until they were just like they just shoved that into your head. It's like, okay, Tim Allen is flirting with this
This
child.
makes me uncomfortable for 1 second, but well, we're kind of getting close to the end of this, so we need to talk about ratings and stuff and end this great 12 days of Christmas that we've done. Do you want to
Woo!
get into that a little bit?
Yes. Yeah, so I guess, we rated all of these based on a scale of 1 to 10. I mean, this is the last one, so I guess what would you give this one?
Well, I gave Home Alone a 9.4, which Jack said it perfectly. It's the gold standard of Christmas movies, and everything else follows. This I would give a 9.1. This is as close to Home Alone as you can get. This is a close gold standard. This is a fantastic Christmas movie, one of my personal favorites.
Yeah, definitely this is my second favorite. I think for me would go Home Alone, this, and then maybe Christmas Vacation. I think those are
Hmm.
probably the three I really like the most. This is the one that has like that magic of Christmas that like Bad Santa doesn't have, and that Home Alone doesn't have, and that Christmas Vacation doesn't have. This one actually does have magic, and those are the kind of ones I don't actually like. But this one is very original, kind of funny sometimes. Love the casting, and
You could
CGI.
really truly watch it at any age and feel appropriate to watch it too.
When I was watching Richie Rich's Christmas, I was like, "What am I doing with my life?" And then when I was watching this, I was like, "I'm okay with watching this right now
Yeah.
at 30 by myself."
Yeah.
But I'd give this a 9.5. This is my second favorite by far. I think I
Oh.
give Home Alone a 10, so this is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
second.
I wonder if
Yeah.
I'll ever get that 10 out. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever give it 10 out. Maybe when they reboot the Santa Claus.
You said your scale was at a 9.4, so
No, I said my scale's a 10, but I don't give out 10s like candy, dude.
Okay. Well, I guess the other thing we've been kind of saving, I don't know if you put any thought into this, but who is your favorite Santa out of all the movies we've watched? Who's your favorite and who's your least favorite?
I would say Tim Allen is my favorite Santa Claus. Yeah, I think he killed it perfectly. Looked like the Coca-Cola Santa Claus flawlessly. The ho 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 was great. The laugh, the way he moved, the way he looked, the twinkle in his eye, how he talked, like that's how I would picture Santa Claus.
And your least favorite?
My least favorite Santa Claus? You know, a normal person would say Billy Bob Thornton, but he's probably my second favorite Santa Claus in Bad Santa, which by the way, this podcast really had me loving that movie. I watched it twice since I've seen it. Dude, I love Bad Santa.
So funny.
It's so, dude, I was dying. I watched it last night again, like in the background. The lines in that movie are ridiculous. And I did like overall. What were you asking? What was the main question? Though? My favorite Santa is Tim Allen, and my least favorite, my least favorite Santa Claus. I don't know. I really love them all to some degree. What's your least favorite?
I think the one from Christmas Story. He was just like
The
a
mall
dude.
Santa?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, then you can say the Home Alone Santa that Kevin McAllister walks up
What?
to with the gum or
He
the
was a
Tic
good
Tac.
he was a good Santa.
Wh-
He gave him gum, he listened to him, like he was a good Santa.
Okay, okay.
Cared about having cigarette smoke being blown in his face. Like I thought he was a good Santa. No, I didn't like the Christmas story. I mean not the Christmas Story Santa. I thought he was just like an
All
asshole.
right,
He's just
then
like
yeah, dude, that one for
I
sure.
can't wait to get out of here.
That
Now
Santa's worse than the Billy Bob Thornton Santa. Okay.
I guess my least favorite one.
Yeah.
Not that's yeah, so my least favorite Santa. And then yeah, I think the Tim Allen one's probably my favorite. I think yeah, you're right. He's like funny. He's funny too. Like I like the
He's
lactose
energetic.
intolerant
He's
line.
very energetic too.
Yeah, he's exactly what you'd imagine Santa Claus to be. And dude, that scene where Judge Reinhold like looks at him for a second, it almost looks like he like it's like when an edible hits you and he's just like
I love
Santa?
that reaction. I think that's one of my favorite like reactions of all time when he just like his eyes light up like
Yeah.
and grow and he's like Santa? Like in this
Yeah.
like kid voice. So
Yeah.
good.
Dude, that was
So
so
good.
good. It's just like, what the fuck?
And
Like
then he gets the little weenie whistle and blows it like he's 5 years
yeah.
old. It's like, ah.
Yeah, so that was really I was like, wow, like this really is Santa.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely it's funny that we ended on this one, and I definitely think he's my favorite. I also gotta give a honorable mention to Ernest Saves Christmas Santa.
Thank you. Thank you. You like
Different.
that one?
He's different,
Yeah.
but he's also I liked him. I like that he was also a real person too. He was like a Prussian guy that got turned into Santa and then had to pass it on. Ooh, this took a little bit from Ernest Saves Christmas.
What?
Like new people becoming Santa.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we talked about that before. I mean, I don't know if Ernest Saves Christmas made that idea up ever, like
Mm.
if that was their thing. But I mean, honestly, yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. Muppet Christmas Carol, love that one. Love.
Yeah,
Top
I've had that song like with a thankful heart and a cup of joy, and boy, I've had that song stuck in my head like the last 2 weeks since we started this podcast, dude. I've had that stuck in my head like every night. I've just sung that in my head. With a
Yeah,
glass
yeah.
raised to toast your health, glass raised to toast your health. Da, 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 da. It gets stuck in your head, dude. The music in that movie is so just
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably not gonna watch that for another year.
Love
I
it.
think I'll
Hey,
be
but I just want to say a couple things real quick because this really did put me in the Christmas spirit. Watching a Christmas movie the last 12 days with you and also with all our guests, all of them. I can't name them all because I can't remember them off the top of my head, but love touching base with Burns and with Jeff McHugh, Dominic Burge from Muppet Christmas Carol, and Mike Valente for Erda Saves Christmas. Who am I
Jack
forgetting?
Baca.
Jack Baca, Home Alone.
We
Fantastic.
have Billy Bane
Billy
for
Bane, we
Christmas
just had him. Yeah.
Story. Matt Banover for Just Friends.
Yup.
We had
Justin for Turbo Man. Oh my, and Jingle All the Way. Yes.
Jingle All the Way.
Jeez. That was great too, dude. That was great. We had so much fun. So
Zach Simpson for
we did Ghostbusters with him. So that was
okay, right.
no, but because we're merging the other wheel with this wheel, so I want to say all the guests that were on this show, what a great time it was, and thank you all. You know, Matt Banner, we're talking to you with Just Friends for like we could talk about the movie for. I just had a great time, and it was a special Christmas for me. This will be a special Christmas for me. Just it just really made me happy. It put me in the Christmas spirit when we can't be around each other.
Could not agree more. 100% everything you just said. It's the same thing with the Halloween movies. Like I always wanted to just like really force myself to get in the spirit. And I think watching these movies and talking about them, especially, yeah, with you and then all of our friends that like, we're all in different parts of the country and stuff like that. So to really be able to, yeah, bring everybody together for the holidays in
Yeah.
ways that are 2020 only.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and honestly, I was not a big Christmas movie guy. Like I was always like, ugh. But now after watching this, I've got a new appreciation. I'm actually looking forward to watching different new ones next year.
Yeah, we should do this. We should do this again next year. I mean, there's so many other great Christmas movies we didn't touch upon, especially the old ones like It's a Wonderful Life. I mean, there's that Miracle on 34th Street. There's so many other movies we could do.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to that. 100%. Let's do it next year. This is a lot of fun. I'm glad we did this one, and thank you all of our guests. Thank you, Eric.
Yeah, thank you, Alec. And everyone listening, obviously, just stay safe out there this year and every year. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Hope we had fun listening. And yeah, thank you for listening to The Wheel. We have a lot of other funny ideas to do. More bonus wheels, more ideas. So can't wait to just keep doing this. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you everybody for listening in. We really appreciate everybody that does. And we love doing this, so we're not stopping. So we'll see everybody on Monday for another movie, which I don't even know what it is yet. So we will see you guys then.
God bless us, everyone.
The Tiny Tim says, right? Merry Christmas.